It's arguably the biggest show in the world, and the world's eyes were on Paris this summer as the opening ceremonies for the Olympic and Paralympic Games saw the French capital transformed into an open-air stage with spectacular results. Maud le Pladec was the maestra, coordinating the many dance sequences in the opening and closing events as director of choreography. And among the constellation of stars involved, Lucky Love gave a stunning performance at the opening of the Paralympics. Both of them join me now in the studio to tell us more. Welcome to the show, Lucky Love.
Thank you.
And Maud. Now, as I mentioned, those ceremonies are not just a performance in front of a city, a country, a region. It's a planetary event. How did that feel?
It feels huge, actually, and we are proud, actually, to have been able, and it's not finished because we are actually working on the closure now, being able to show the French culture in different ways, in different arts also. It can be with the top artists, with the dance, with all the performances that we actually prepared since 2 years now for all the ceremony. And it's true that to address actually these kinds of message, but also this kind of art to all over the world, and it's something quite sensational for us also.
How did you feel taking to the stage when you knew that the world's eyes were on you?
Well, it feels unreal, to be quite honest. So I just focused on the performance, and I thought, because I was doing a festival in Paris just like a few days before that, and so I just thought, okay, that's a stage. Even though there is this huge monumental thing around it, that's just a stage. Stay yourself and everything's going to be okay. And that's what happened. I really also felt really lucky to be surrounded by all these dancers because they actually made this moment real for me.
Okay. Well, Maud, as I said, there's the symbolic value of this, but also the actual logistics. So Paris is an incredible backdrop to a show, but it has its constraints as well. The opening ceremony of the Paralympics was mainly on the Place la Concorde, not the blank canvas of a theatre space. What was most challenging for you about that site?
Yes, it's exactly like the opening ceremony for the Olympic Games, where actually all the Seine, not the stage, but the fleuve, the river was our stage. Here we were Place de la Concorde, and we had actually to fit to this incredible space, but also not really usual for dancers and performances, and especially for people, disabled people. So there were a lot of questions around that. So we work also with disabled people to imagine how we can do that. And it was actually the thematic of this ceremony because it was from Discord to Concorde. So we came from this paradox of the non-accessibility for disabled people in Paris, and this paradox to have chosen actually Paris as a stage for the Paralympic opening. And I think that we wanted to transcend in a way the fact that this impossibility creates some other possibilities, and also that the difference, it's a power, and the difference is beautiful. And I think that's also the DNA of all the ceremony around the inclusion, the diversity, and how everybody also can be together. Whatever.
A very strong message. Now, Lucky Love, your performance during that ceremony was a highlight, a moment that stunned those of us who didn't know your work and delighted those who do. You sang a different version of your hit single, Masculinity. Now, I want to hear more about that in a minute, but just let's get a reminder of the original track.
Tell me, baby, baby, do I walk like a boy? Do I speak like a boy? Do I stand like a boy? Sorry, babe, you keep asking, do I kiss like a boy? Should I spit like a boy? May I fuck all the boys? Tell me, baby, baby, do I walk like a boy? Do I speak like a boy? Do I stand like a boy? Sorry, babe, you keep asking, do I kiss like a boy? Should I spit like a boy? May I fuck all the boys? Tell me, baby, baby.
So in that ceremony, you changed the lyrics to that song. It became My Ability. I should mention here that you were born without a left arm, something that some people could see as a disability. But in your journey as a dancer, model, singer, actor, you've rejected that sort of ableist view of things. Tell us about the message in My Ability.
Oh, the message in my ability was really important for me to be to deliver a message that was universal and that would actually fit the ceremony. I love this idea of being an artist who is still trying to get a better version of myself, of my song. And so I wanted to go like a bit further. I was like, if I would have just like performed my song, I would have loved it, of course. But I really wanted to feel that I was in the present, that I was living that moment, and that it would be unique in a way. And so that's also the reason why for now we didn't release it, because I love the fact that it just belongs to that moment.
Yeah, it's a real one-off. Well, changing the narrative when it comes to disability and inclusion in the arts was something that Thomas Joly, artistic director of the ceremonies, was keen to underline at the day after the Paralympics opening ceremony. Here's more from him.
An opening ceremony for the Paralympics in the heart of a capital city, when we know just how inaccessible they can be for disabled people, that's already a strong political statement. That's the point of live performance. It's not about telling you what to think, but instead saying, let's think about this.
Now, Maud, people wouldn't always think of dance as the most political art form, but I know that politics, well, feminism especially, is something you've always integrated into your work. How do you see the political dimension of your performances?
Actually, this is not something that like a thematic that I come from. You know, it's I always say that I don't want to say some message, and it's weird because people actually always tell me, okay, you work on that. But it's included in my vision of the world. And it's true that I'm fighting. I'm a director of a big institution for dance in France, and I will be the new director of a ballet. And this is something also that I want to work with, which is my values of, as we said, inclusion, but also I'm fighting for the equality and also against the discrimination. I think that it's difficult actually to live in this kind of work with, I have a huge sense of justice. So that's something that I actually have since I'm a child. And it's true that after, it's not difficult for me to include this kind of values in the work that I'm doing, because I was a dancer all my life. I'm a choreographer now, and I work with the body. And I think that concretely, bodies are politic. And bodies is also, when we talk about body, we can talk about our body, but we can talk about the social body also. And if we come back to this ceremony, the beautiful opening Paralympic, we created a body. I mean, they were together in the same, they embodies actually all these values. And this is the way I work.
So when it comes to values, politics, that sort of thing, Lucky, I heard that you initially said no to Thomas Joly when he offered you this performance. What was it about his artistic approach that made you change your mind?
Yeah, I refused the first proposition just because I didn't want to be like the singer with a disability that would actually sing for the ceremony. I was like, oh no, please no, not this, like not again. I love when we can actually cross, like all the universe and people. And when I've seen the Olympic ceremony, I've been so surprised by all the diversity that we could find there already. Like it wasn't like they didn't wait for the Paralympic ceremony to actually include people. And when I say people, it's people. And that's what I loved in it. And I was like, okay, I can't actually just like refuse that. I have to be part of it. It's like it was natural to me. After seeing the first ceremony and the second one, I was just blown away by it. I was like, it's so beautiful to see that actually all these people were represented in all the ceremonies. And so, yeah.
And from an artistic point of view, it's up there. Now, I mentioned that you are a super versatile artist. You're on stage, in front of the camera, in the recording studio. I know you acted alongside Béatrice Dalle and Joe Star in a theatrical production of The Elephant Man here in France. Now, that story, the life of Joseph Merrick in the 19th century, is often presented as a sort of tragic life. But this production had a bit of a different approach, didn't it? What did you take away from that experience?
Oh, yeah. I would say that what was beautiful, even more in my case, is that as I was acting the role of Jack the Ripper, and I was always confronting Elephant Man in the piece of theatre that we were playing. And so I was the beauty, the outside beauty, the beauty that like society would actually consider as like a gentleman. And I was actually the monster. in front of someone that was just judged because of his envelope, because of his body, because of what he represents. When he was actually, his character, the Joey Star character, was much more human than mine, you know? So it really gave me this, this print of humanity that you can find in anyone. And so, yeah, it's just this. It's just like, be careful of what you see.
You shouldn't trust appearances.
No.
Now, Maud, we often talk about the sporting legacy of Olympic Games for a city or for a society. What do you think the artistic legacy of these Games in Paris will be when we look back?
I mean, this is a beautiful and huge legacy. As I always said, it's 2 years of work. It was challenging. I met beautiful people that I hope I will see after, for sure. And artistically, I think that because it's the challenge of my life, it will be the legacy of my life. There's something like this. And also, as I said, I will direct a ballet now. I had actually to choreograph for 600 dancers in the opening ceremony. I will choreograph for 26 dancers. So for sure, it will be, it's not that it will be easy, but kind of easier in a way.
Yeah.
But I actually also let's say this format, as we said in French, actually this the challenge of making the hugest, I don't know, or the most huge show of the world. It's something that I will never forget. Perhaps I will never be confronted or being in the same situation, but I will keep something like, oh, I want to do it again.
Amazing. I know you've got lots of exciting projects coming up, so we'll keep an eye on those. And we'll wrap up with a little of your music, Lucky Love, as well. But thank you both for coming in today. Now, while we wait for your upcoming album, I Don't Care If It Burns, out in November, you're also on tour all over Europe in the coming months. So this is I'm Ready. Do join us next time here on Arts 24 for more arts and culture.
Baby, I'm ready to love.